So over the past weekend, like apparently a lot of other people, I found myself playing through Animal Well. And during my time playing it, a lot of other games came to mind. So I figured I could make a video here suggesting a few games that I think that if you really like Animal Well, I think you should check out. First one here is The Shadow King, and that is a pretty small Pico 8 game actually that you can buy on Steam. It's accessible and easy to get to even if you don't have a way to typically play Pico 8 games, which is a whole other thing, which I'll only just touch on a bit here. Pico 8 is basically a imaginary console. Basically a set of specifications to design a game to, like, imagine it's like an imaginary Game Boy. It's a pretty unique and cool thing that a lot of really great games have been made for. But yeah, The Shadow King is a whole Metroidvania game that is designed for this specification of the Pico 8, and it's a really good one at that. One thing that I really appreciated in Animal Well was how much it just nailed the basics of Metroidvania design. And that's what you see here in The Shadow King. It's a really short, like half an hour Metroidvania game, so it really just goes through beat by beat the basic structure of a Metroidvania in a really satisfying way. And I think you should check this one out because really you could just play through this one in a sitting. It's a great game I think you really need to see. The next one here is Elechead, which is a 2D platformer. It's not really much of a Metroidvania, but if in Animal Well you really liked using your different set of tools in unique different ways, I'd say that that's a similar experience that you'll get here in Elechead. You have a very small amount of actual mechanics, but you have a ton of different ways that you can use those to solve the puzzles and get through the game. I really think that this is a really great one. The next one here is Mosa Lina, which is a 2D immersive sim. It's definitely not a Metroidvania, but it does have a similar kind of thinking process as Elechead and Animal Well, where you use your tools at your disposal in unique ways that allow for emergent puzzle solving. This one I think is really overly slept on. It's such a really great, just fundamental of game design kind of game. You really have to check this one out if you like to think when you play games, in the way that you use different tools to solve a solution that is deceptively difficult in reality. So yeah, I really think you should check that one out. Alright, now back to another Metroidvania game, Gato Roboto. This is a game from Devolver. It's a really great Metroidvania game. It's another one that is just like the fundamentals of the genre on display, and it's done exceedingly well. In Gato Roboto, you play as a cat who has to get into like a Samus-like set of space armor and go explore this planet and hopefully rescue your owner, who is the space hero that was supposed to take on the mission, but you're the cat who ended up having to do it. It's extremely great, extremely charming. This one is such an obvious choice if you like Animal Well. Alright, and then for the next few games, I'm going to be tackling the more deep level problems that are really buried, the Easter eggy kind of subtextual puzzles of the game. If you play the game, you might know what it is. You might not even have experienced any of it in Animal Well. There's just a lot of stuff there that if you go out of the beaten path, you'll find. So that's what these games are more similar to. And also, a lot of these are more popular, so you might have heard these, you might have played these before, but they obviously totally scratched the same sort of deep level problem solving and mystery that Animal Well has. So first off, there's Fez, which is the one that I think really blew up when it came out, but Fez has tons of mystery to it, and the real fun of Fez, at least when it came out, was the community that came up around it to solve the puzzles together. It's one of those games that just has tons of details in the levels and the backgrounds that can completely change your perspective on what the game even is. I really loved Fez when it came out, but the mysteries of Animal Well definitely evoke what Fez brought to the table. Alright, and then there's the more recent one that is similar to Fez and Animal Well with this sort of thinking, and that is Tunic. At first glance, Tunic is a typical top-down Zelda-like sort of adventure game. But there's a lot of different depth and mystery in this very similar way to these games. There's languages that you'll have to decode, there's strange meanings of objects and things around the environment, and the game just completely can break open in front of your eyes just from your matter of understanding of the game and its mysteries. So I really think Tunic is another obvious choice for you if you really like Animal Well. All right, and then the final suggestion here I have for Animal Well fans is check out Rain World. I know this one's a really popular one. It's a 2D, really hardcore survival platformer where you play as this little animal who has to survive in this post-apocalyptic hellscape. Basically, there's tons of other animals and creatures in this environment that you need to stealth past and maneuver around to get enough food to survive to the next day. There's definitely some elements of Animal Well here. You know, if you encountered the wiener dog, I think you'd kind of get the gist and the feeling of the survival and primal-like experience of Rain World. So yeah, I think you should totally check this one out. Alright, and that was my video on making some suggestions to people if they want more games that are kind of like Animal Well. If you liked the video, subscribe, do all the YouTube-y stuff. Thank you so much. Oh yeah, Hollow Knight. Play Hollow Knight, obviously. Yeah, but I figured that doesn't need to be said. Yeah, my voice, holy crap, it's killed. I got a terrible voice in this video. Oh, man. Anyway, thank you for watching. 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 Man, I need my tea. God.